It's college football is presented by Geico. Back here in Salt Lake City, a beautiful night for football. It is a night of first, the first ever college football game here on Fox Sports 1, and the first ever game coached for Matt Wells. Let's go down to Christina Pink.
Thanks a lot, Justin. Matt, named head coach this offseason, but you've got a rich history with this program. You quarterbacked this team in the 90s. Tell me, what sort of emotions do you have coming into game one?
Well, it's all anxious butterflies, but excited to watch the kids play. At the end of the day, it's all about these players, and it's all about those kids, so I'm excited to watch them play.
You didn't have to travel far for game one. Nice in-state showdown. What is the significance of this rivalry?
It's an in-state rivalry that's huge for us to be able to play this in front of family and friends and high school teammates and cousins. It's a big deal.
Well, good luck today. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thank you.
Back over to you, Justin.
All right, thanks so much, Christina. The head coach for Utah in his 9th year at the helm is Kyle Whittingham, the 2008 National Coach of the Year.
Man, is he in good shape for coaches. In the Pac-12, he is by far the most fit coach. And he's got a chip on his shoulder too, Justin, from last year. 5-7 does not bode well around here.
Did not qualify for a bowl game for the first time in 10 years. The series history, the 111th meeting. Last year's win by Utah State snapped a 12-game winning streak for Utah. And how about that? Utah's first ever football game was against Utah State back in 1892. Utah State won the toss. They deferred. Utah will receive. Jake Thompson will kick off for Utah State. Back deep is James Bubba Poole for Utah. And we're all set for college football here on Fox Sports 1. Taking it 5 yards deep in the end zone. And run out of bounds at the 12-yard line is Chandler Johnson. The starting lineup for the Utah Utes on that offensive line. The center, Vincent Jones, played the first 3 years at guard. Now he's moved over to center. Kevin York is that senior tailback. He and James Bubba Poole will combine out there. And of course, their quarterback is the 6'6" sophomore Travis Wilson.
Good looking athlete.
On first down, a handoff. Kevin York picks up a yard on first down. Let's look at the Utah State defense. On that front line, Connor Williams. He is the key to that defensive line for Utah State. Kyler Fackrell. He is the explosive player in that middle linebacker. And, of course, in the secondary, you have to look out for the best cover guy in Nevin Lawson. And on second down, it's York again. Jake Dowdy with a tackle after a 3-yard pickup.
Tackled by number 51, Jake Dowdy.
Utah's a physical football team, Justin, and they want to keep that identity. They've lost an offensive identity basically since Urban Meyer's been here. 5 coordinators in 5 years, but they've always maintained a physical mentality at the line of scrimmage, and you saw that in the first 2 calls.
3rd down and 6 with York in the backfield. Wilson in the shotgun. Wilson steps up. Trying to get to the outside. He does. Has a block. Picks up the first down.
And there it is, the athletic ability of Travis Wilson. There is a flag. Great block on the edge by Jake Murphy.
The referee is Kevin Moore.
Personal foul. Late hit. Defense number 53. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Now this is a quarterback that's 6'6", 240, but he was a volleyball star in San Clemente, California, where he came up. And look, those are some pretty nifty feet for a guy that big. He's able to get to the edge, and you see the penalty. Hey, this is the battle of the brothers. You ever been in a fight with your brother? It's never pretty.
I actually have been, yes, many times.
Me too.
On 1st and 10, Wilson throws over the middle, complete to Denham. Denham down the sideline. Tripped up, down at the 1.
Look at the senior, Anthony Denham. He's in the closest to the line of scrimmage here and just runs a crossing route. Nobody picks him up.
Handoff to York up the middle, and York will get stuffed. He's going to lose a yard on the play. It was a 51-yard completion to Denham to set up that 1st and goal.
And you're seeing Dennis Erickson and his play calling already taking effect in this football game. The new offensive coordinator for Utah. What he did was try to get quick up to the line of scrimmage and get that team in the end zone. But it's still a young quarterback, and it's still a new offense. Still some kinks to work out.
2nd and goal from the 2. And a flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, full start. Number 80 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's one of the tight ends, Wesley Tonga, who gets called for that false start.
There's going to be a lot of movement between Wesley Tonga and Jake Murphy, and that's what Dennis Erickson wants to do. He's very adept at moving tight ends around wherever he has coached offensively in his career. It's very interesting because you see this Utah team, the good of having a new offense under Dennis Erickson, and in the last 2 plays, trying to get up to the line of scrimmage and not really getting that off. It was kind of awkward. And then the penalty, you see the bad side of having a new offensive coordinator. They've had 5 in 5 years.
2nd and goal now from the 7 after that 5-yard penalty. Wilson, the handoff inside. York gets up to the 3-yard line. Tackled by Jake Dowdy, picks up 4.
You start to get the idea that the Utah State team is getting their bearings now. This is a rivalry game, and it's the first game of the year in a sold-out stadium. These guys are all breathing very hard. A chance to settle down on the goal line for the Aggies. I like that gap action, though, by Utah. That's a good-looking run play.
3rd and goal from the 3. Wilson with some time back at the end zone. Touchdown. Trez Anderson, the 3-yard touchdown catch.
Well, that first drive is just what the doctor ordered for Utah after being basically stifled the entire game last year against Utah State. Wilson looks very comfortable, plenty of time. Trez Anderson, very speedy, finds him in the back of the end zone. Very impressive drive.
Andy Phillips on for the extra point. His first ever kick in a football game. And the extra point is good. The big play was a 51-yard completion to Anthony Denham, and then a 3-yard touchdown pass to Trez Anderson. 7-0 Utah here in the 1st. 7-0 Utah. Petros, what did you see on this touchdown pass?
Well, first of all, great drive, great protection, but here's the star receiver, Trez Anderson, and this is simple. He just takes it across the middle of the end zone. The zone for Utah State doesn't pick him up. They're chasing. Easiest touchdown Wilson's going to throw this year.
That is the first touchdown allowed in the first quarter for Utah State. They did not allow one all of last year. Look at that scoring play. The scoring drive, 51 yards, big play. But don't forget also that 10-yard run by Wilson, and then the 15-yard penalty. Andy Phillips will kick off. Travis Reynolds and Tate Glover Wright are back deep for Utah State. And Phillips will kick this one out of the end zone. Utah State will start at the 25-yard line. Let's meet these starters for Utah State. This offensive line, all of them returning starters. Talk about a luxury for Utah State. Joe Hill will get his chance at running back. Bruce JoJo Watson, that go-to receiver for the quarterback, Chucky Keaton. Chucky Keaton had a huge year last year for Utah State, setting all types of school records.
I keep his football card in my home.
Keaton will start in the shotgun. Joe Hill right next to him. On first down, Keaton coming towards the near sideline, completes the pass to Travis Van Loon, who's pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A 24-yard completion on first down.
You see the speed that Utah State is trying to play with, keep Utah on their heels, but Utah's seen a lot of this now in the Pac-12.
Quick pass to Joe Hill, and Hill, nice cutback, takes it across midfield up to the 46-yard line, picks up 5, sets up second down and 5. VJ Fehoko on the tackle.
Trevor Riley really chased that play down too, never gave up on it. Good job by the Utes to get out to the sideline with some speed. It's going to be interesting on the perimeter in this game. Both these teams want to be better on the outside on both sides of the ball.
Second down and 5 here for the Aggies. Handoff to Hill. Up the middle, tackle by Trevor Riley. Will pick up a couple yards, third down and 3. The defense for Utah up front. Trevor Riley, the guy that you're going to want to watch out for, whether it's defensive end or at linebacker. The linebacker core. And in the secondary, Eric Rowe, the leader of that group. Third and 3. Keaton keeps it up the middle, picks up the first down. Fehoko on the tackle, but a first down for Chucky Keaton.
Just a classic zone read look, and this Utah State team under Coach Wells has an ability to be versatile.
Chucky Keaton will keep it, and he's tackled by Trevor Riley. Will pick up 4. Again, going with a zone read. How difficult is that for a quarterback to learn how to run that effectively?
Well, it's really just about trusting your instincts. When you see your key, whatever your guy is, wherever he goes that you're looking at on defense, when he goes somewhere, you either give or you keep it. You just have to make the decision, right or wrong.
On second and 6, Keaton gets rid of it to his tight end. DJ Tialavea picks up 3 yards.
And you can see the hard-hitting nature of this game. Utah maybe 5-7 last year, but with guys like the Kruger brothers and Star Lotulelei, who all left for the NFL, they've had a hard-nosed attitude for years under Kyle Whittingham. Big down here.
Third down and 3. Bruce Natson in the backfield now for Utah State. He splits out wide. Keaton throws, completes the pass, and that'll be enough for the first down. A 5-yard completion on third and 3. Jefferson Court on the completion.
Look at the eyes of Chucky Keaton. Intense. But he has got complete command of this offense, and you can see it. Very efficient drive so far.
Not panicking either.
It's a great answer to the touchdown for the Utes.
First down and 10. Keaton setting up the screen, completes to Hill. Hill down the sideline, gets shoved out of bounds by Nate Orchard. Shoved out at the 14.
This is a double screen. They're going to fake the screen to the left side and then run it to the right. And look at Eric Schultz, number 66, with the great block, walling off Keith McGill, and that allowed the seam.
First down and 10 from the 14. Joey DiMartino into the backfield. He takes the handoff up the middle, and DiMartino across the 10-yard line. A 5-yard run for DiMartino. Again, it's DiMartino, and he gets gang tackled at the 9-yard line, picks up a yard.
It's interesting that Joe Hill was the one to catch the screen, and now DiMartino is trying to punch it in, or at least get a little closer to the goal line for Utah State. DiMartino is known as the guy with the hands, and Joe Hill is usually the back that goes between the tackles for the Aggies. Very impressed with their versatility and the different guys touching the ball this drive.
Third down and 5. Empty backfield here for Chucky Keaton. Keaton across the middle, knocked in the air, incomplete. Jacoby Hale broke up the pass intended for Bruce Natson.
The Utes are doing a pretty good job of staying on top of Aggie receivers. Not a lot of room when the ball arrives, and you saw it right there. Hale punched that ball out and timed it up perfectly.
Nick Diaz now on for the field goal attempt from 26 yards out. And the kick is good. So both teams get points on their first drives of the game. 7:37 to go here in the first quarter. It's 7-3 Utah over Utah State. Chucky Keaton cooling off after that 4-minute and 10-second drive that resulted in a 26-yard field goal. 7-3 Utah leads Utah State. Jake Thompson will kick off here for Utah State with James Bubba Poole back deep. Poole from 1 yard deep, fumbles the ball, picks it up. And he gets tackled at the 8-yard line. All right, Petros, time now for the 4 keys to the game.
Well, for Utah State, they've got to keep defensive pressure on Utah. Make them feel like they're not that good on offense, just like they did in Logan last year. Maybe they can settle down here in the second drive. And for Utah, you got to keep Chucky Keaton in the pocket when he drops back to throw. The zone reads. If he gets 5 yards and gets a first down, I believe that Kalani Sitake, the DC for Utah, will take that. They just can't have him breaking big plays in the passing game with his legs.
Travis Wilson in the shotgun on first down from his own 8. Wilson swings it out to York. And York gets tripped up at the 10, picks up 2. Quentin Bird with a tackle.
Now that little bubble screen that you just saw with York is something that Dennis Erickson borrowed from his old offensive coordinator, Noel Mazzoni. We have a guy down on the field. It's Kenneth Scott, and he is a big part of the receiving corps for the Utes.
Kenneth Scott, one of the 2 receivers on this Utah team who the coaching staff says will play every down if he can. And now we just hope that he's all right. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Kenneth Scott down on the field for Utah. Seven to 3, Kenneth Scott being helped off the field, the starting wide receiver. Take a look at what happened. It looked like his leg got rolled up on by his running back, York.
Yeah, Calvin York out there on the bubble screen, and he was lead blocking and just got caught up.
Wilson scrambling now, throws on the run, incomplete. Was looking for his tight end, Jake Murphy.
This is going to be a big 3rd down play for the Utes. Just for their confidence. They lose one of their better players in Kenneth Scott. An incompletion on kind of an awkward throw by Wilson. What does Erickson have up his sleeve for 3rd and long?
3rd down and 8 here for Utah. Wilson pressured, gets rid of it, completes the pass to Denham. But Denham will be shy of the 1st down marker as he picked up 6. Zach Vigil with a tackle.
This is a screen, so they're opening up and letting their quarterback get hit. Now, that is a pretty big hit by Terrell Thompson on Travis Wilson, who hung in there a little too long on that middle screen. Got to retreat after you throw the ball.
Tom Hackett will punt now from his own 2-yard line with Bruce Natson back deep at his own 40. Natson will let this one drop, takes a Utah State bounce, and it's down inside the 45. Utah State with the ball when we come back. The pressure's coming against Travis Wilson. It's 7-3 Utah. College football all week long. Chucky Keaton in the shotgun. Great starting field position at the 43-yard line. Bruce Natson in the backfield. Handoff is to Natson. He can fly. And Natson jumps over defender up to the 49-yard line, picks up 8 as Nate Orchard tackles him. 2nd down and 2 coming up for Utah State.
Bruce Natson, they call him JoJo. One of these guys from Utah State, from Florida. They have a few guys from Florida, nice pipeline, and they all play. Good speed on the edge and a lot of fearlessness, leaving his feet like that to try to get the first down.
Empty backfield here on 2nd and 2 for Keaton.
Nice down for a play caller here.
Keaton pump fakes. And Chucky Keaton, with 4 red jerseys around him, still able to pick up the first down. And Petros, just how important is this Chucky Keaton? On the first drive, he himself accounted for 58 of the 66 yards.
He does it all.
Handoff to Joe Hill, trying to bounce the outside, escapes a tackle. And Hill gets spun around at the 45. Michael Walker brings him down. A 1-yard run.
BJ Fehoko missed a tackle that Hill was able to step out of, but very good pursuit. Trevor Riley, I mean, this guy plays with an unbelievable motor, assisting Michael Walker on the tackle.
2nd down and 9 with Hill in the backfield. Keaton, the quick slant, completes the pass to Brandon Swindle for 4 yards. Davion Orfe with the tackle.
Look what we've seen here so far. A wide receiver in the backfield, a fake screen, quarterback draw, all kinds of different things. A very traditional West Coast offense, slant route. What are they going to do now? This is a big down, 3rd down.
3rd and 4. The tight end Anderson in motion. Keaton, little pitch inside to Hill, and he'll be stopped short of the first down. Latu Hemuli with a tackle, a 2-yard pickup.
Look at this front 7. They almost have 8 in the box there for Utah, and they try that quick little shovel pass. So multiple, these Aggies offensively, and a great job by Utah. Kind of backed up, rough field position because they weren't able to get a first down, and the muffed kickoff really hurt them, and now they forced a punt. Good job by the Utes.
Jaron Benschrud now on to punt here for Utah State. And that punt is going to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback here for Utah. 3:51 to go here in this first quarter. It's 7-3 Utah over Utah State. Seven to 3 Utah leading Utah State. A rematch of last year's Week 2 game where Utah State defeated Utah 27-20. And you talk to both sides, kind of set up their respective seasons. Travis Wilson, the starting quarterback, a young sophomore, 4 of 5 so far for 62 yards. Had a big 51-yard completion on his first drive.
I've been impressed with him so far. Much more command than he had when he was a true freshman, but you'd expect that.
James Poole and Carl Williams in the backfield. On first down, the handoff is to Carl Williams. And Williams gets tackled for a loss of 1 by B.J. Larson. And let's check in with Christina Pink.
Well, as you can see, still no Kenneth Scott on the field. Just during that last series, he was carted back off into the Utes locker room. He was in visible pain, could not put any weight on that left leg, could not put any weight on it at all, and was clearly frustrated as they tried to stretch it out here on the sideline. You could see him grimacing every single time, and he is back in the locker room for now with that leg injury.
Tough luck here for Utah. On 2nd and 11, Travis Wilson over the middle, incomplete. Had his tight end Wesley Tonga open.
That's a tough situation for both guys. Wilson would like to think that Tonga would have made that catch, and Tonga, you know, he's a big guy. Look at him try to get his arms over his head. It's tough to do with those pads on. Just a couple inches short for a big gain. And now another 3rd and long for Dennis Erickson's offense.
Can Utah State force a 3-and-out? 3rd and 11. And a flag comes in. It's going to be a false start here against Utah.
False start. 83, the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So the 3rd and long just got longer as Sean Fitzgerald called for the false start. He's the wide receiver who came in with Kenneth Scott going out.
And that's going to bother Kyle Whittingham. Yes, it's a new offense. Yes, they're trying to find a new identity. but you can't have penalties like that. It almost cost them a touchdown in their first drive, and now they're very set back on third down. I would say just try to get half of it maybe, and then punt it away.
Give your punter some room.
Absolutely.
3rd and 16. Pressure coming. Wilson escapes. Has a block trying to get to the outside, and he gets pulled down. A flag comes flying in, a couple more flags, and a helmet is down on the field.
That's B.J. Larson who lost his helmet. Did somebody remove it? He's got to come off the field for a play.
Let's see what all these flags are for.
For a guy 6'6", 240, you can see that Travis Wilson is not a surefire sack when you get your hands on him. He's strong, and he does have good feet. Great pressure by the freak linebacker,
Number
Kyler
99
Fackrell.
of the offense. Excuse me. Number 99 of the defense participated without a helmet. That's a 15-yard penalty on the end of the run. First down.
Wow. That is a huge penalty against Utah State.
You can't do it. If your helmet comes off, you just got to stop. And you see Larson's helmet comes off. It's inadvertent. Nobody took it off. That would have been a penalty, too, and he could have stayed in the game. But because he continued and made the tackle, that's a penalty. And that's a new rule in college football for the last couple of years. They don't want guys running around with no headgear on. And I have to say, it makes sense.
It does make sense. And on top of that, so he gets called for the penalty, and he has to sit out this play. So you are just about to force the second 3 and out. Instead, now you give him a first down.
And that's really a tough penalty. I mean, that's a play of aggression that Larson's making. He's taught to play to the whistle.
And it's not a first down. It was 3rd and 16. So it was a 15-yard penalty, not an automatic first down. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Correction, the 15 yards will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Okay, it is automatic first down.
You were right the first time. I'm a little sorry that it wasn't a short yardage situation. I wanted to see what Kelvin York had in his legs so he could take it to that line of scrimmage, but another fresh set of downs to work with for the sophomore out of San Clemente, Travis Wilson. There's his back, York.
Wilson rolls out to his right, throws and completes for the first down to Anthony Denham.
Justin, you were talking about the receivers trying to adjust in this game with Kenneth Scott out. Anthony Denham's been impressive so far. It's a big catch and a big play, and he got hit out of bounds. A little too much aggression from this Aggie defense so far.
Personal foul. Late hit. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's on Terrell Thompson, a linebacker.
Now look at Denham. Nice timing. Good throw. And that's pretty close. Brian Sweet makes the hit. The safety. Not really a violent hit. Tough call.
1st and 10. Wilson, play action. On the run, throws in a double coverage, and that is incomplete. Was looking for Anthony Denham. A dangerous pass there by Travis Wilson.
You just saw the true sophomore in Travis Wilson. This ball's got to be thrown away, or he's got to run that out of bounds. Throwing it directly. I don't know what he was looking at, because we just saw exactly what he saw. Trying to find Jake Murphy. Take Glover right, standing right in front of him.
2nd down and 10. Handoff. York. And York explodes to that line. Kyler Fackrell with a tackle, but a 12-yard run and a first down.
That's the physical mentality that you're looking for out of the Utah offense. And despite the lack of offensive identity over the years, that's who they've been. A nice run by Kelvin York. I thought it was John White from a couple years ago. Looks exactly the same.
Handoff again to York. And York will get tackled by Fackrell. Maurice Alexander also in on the stop, a 1-yard pickup for Kelvin York.
Well, that's 2 straight tackles by the excellent outside linebacker for the Aggies, Kyler Fackrell out of Mesa, Arizona. Such a high ceiling on this kid, 6'5", 245 pounds. He's out there like a mad stork, holding off the blocker, gets to the back. Nice play.
2nd down and 9 here for Utah. Wilson, pass complete to his tight end, Murphy. Murphy to the end zone, touchdown. Touchdown pass to Jake Murphy. Andy Phillips on for another extra point.
That's why you hire Dennis Erickson, to find mismatches on the football field. A.C. Murphy, the excellent tight end, against the safety in Maurice Alexander. Murphy gets in front of him. Alexander's just a little bit, just a split second late on the play. Sweet is caught out of position, very uncharacteristic for him. And Murphy, one of the better tight ends in the Pac-12, rolls to another touchdown for the Utes. And really exciting start for Travis Wilson.
A great start for Travis Wilson. Not a great start, though, for Utah State on defense. 3 costly penalties on those 2 drives that have resulted in touchdowns.
And all penalties of combat. A guy in B.J. Larson running around without his helmet. 1 late hit that was very egregious. 1 that wasn't so much. It's the first game jitters. It's a rivalry. It's a battle of the brothers. But Coach Wells is not going to be happy about that. What he'll tell you is they gave the Utes 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter.
14-3, Utah leading Utah State. Every player on this Utah team talks about the chip on their shoulder after last year's loss. Andy Phillips to kick off. Travis Reynolds back deep. And that'll be the 2nd touchback of the game for Phillips. With 1:37 to go here in the first quarter, time to check in with Mike Pereira, who's back in L.A. And Mike, there's been a big rule change in college football this year. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's a big penalty change. You know, it has to do with targeting. And if you're called for a penalty for targeting, then you're automatically ejected from the game. Now, replay can look at it, and replay could take you off of that if they show that there is no crown of the helmet contact, no contact of the defenseless player in the head or neck area. But look at what happens. If you're ejected in the second half, you're out for the rest of that half, out for the first half of the next game. If it's the last game of the regular season, you're going to a bowl game. You're out for the first half of that game, too. It's a huge penalty.
So big changes there in college football as Joel Hill shows some patience and is able to pick up 4 yards, tackled by Eric Rowe.
Just speaking to the rule quickly, I think it's important that we have the replay to really be able to look at it, because so often a hit looks like it's a targeting thing, but it's really just the shoulder pads coming up and hitting the player's helmet, and his head pops back. So very nice that we have replay on that.
2nd down and 6 here for the Aggies. Keaton taking the shot down the field. Incomplete, looking for Brandon Swindle. Defended by Davion Orfe.
That was an incompletion, and Orfe did a good job of really staying with the receiver. But that being said, and Swindoll kind of bubbling out to the sideline. I'm really impressed with Chucky Keaton's touch on those fade routes. Completed one early in the game to Van Leeuwen.
3rd and 6. These fans here at Rice Eccles making some noise. Keaton, the quick slant, completes to Bruce Jojo Natson for the first down. A big 3rd down conversion there by Utah State.
And they need to stay on the field offensively right now. Their defense has lost some confidence, had some penalties.
And a flag comes flying in as Utah State was going in the hurry up. Utah was not set. They had a man offsides.
I think it was LT Tui Pelotu. They might have picked it up, and now Coach Wells is out to the numbers wondering what's going on.
Matt Wells in his first game as a head coach. And Kevin Marr, the referee, has been busy so far in this first quarter.
50 yards of penalties for the Utah State defense. Been rough for them. Well, what happened here is that Utah State got a first down, and they're trying to get back up to the line of scrimmage. Utah's trying to get a different defensive package in. They snapped the ball before Utah could get lined up. And they're going to pick up that penalty because they didn't.
First down.
They didn't let Utah line up at all. The ref didn't walk away from the ball yet, I think, is why they picked up the penalty. So a little confusion there with the referees. When you try to play hurry up, it's hard on everybody.
Joe Hill in the backfield. Keaton under center. 1st and 10. Under a minute to go here in this first quarter. Handoff to Hill. Has a lot of room on the near side. And Hill with a great open field tackle is Michael Walker.
Really nice carry out of the fake by Chucky Keaton and then getting it to Joe Hill. Joe Hill, to me, so far in this game, a speed perimeter guy, not showing the toughness.
Handoff to Hill again. Tries to cut back. And he's going to be shy of the first down. Didn't get any yards, so it's 3rd and 1.
You have these great Aggie backs in history, Justin. Michael Smith, Robert Turbin, Kerwin Williams. They were all guys that were rolling balls and butcher knives. Really tough to tackle. Joe Hill seems a little more fancy on the perimeter to me.
On 3rd and 1 before the quarter ends, the handoff to DiMartino, and he will get the first down.
And they take out Joe Hill, apparently the less physical back, and put in DiMartino, and he goes and gets it. That's a tough yard now.
And that is the end of this first quarter. 14-3. Travis Wilson finds Drez Anderson in the back of the end zone for the first score, then Jake Murphy for the second. It's 14-3 Utah over Utah State. Kyle Whittingham talking to the officials as we get set to start the second quarter. His team leading 14-3 on 2 touchdown passes by his quarterback Travis Wilson. Utah State was able to convert right before the end of the first quarter. So they have a first down coming up.
And it was a good attitude 3rd down call. Joey DiMartino coming on the right side, just a 5'11", 200-pound back out of San Diego, California. But impressive that they were able to go get that yard against a very tough Ute front.
1st down and 10. DiMartino in the backfield. Keaton in the shotgun. Chucky Keaton going down the sideline, has a man, completes the pass to Travis Van Leeuwen. 36 yards on 1st down, sets up 1st and 10 from the 15.
They're going to go fast now because they got a 1st down.
Keaton keeps it, gets hit hard back of the line of scrimmage. Trevor Riley and LT Tui Pelotu.
And that's what Utah wants to do to Chucky Keaton. They want to get some hits on him and let him know they're out there. But what a nice pass, and it looks like Travis Van Leeuwen early in this game is showing up as a guy who's stepping up for Utah State as a wide receiver. All new perimeter guys on offense for the Aggies.
Van Leeuwen had just 12 catches all of last year. 2nd and 10. Keaton pump fake, completes the pass, touchdown. Brandon Swindle. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Keaton to Swindle.
This is part of having an experienced quarterback with big hands. Nice pump fake, freezes the secondary for the Utes. Nice easy play for Brandon Swindle.
Nick Diaz on for the extra point. And the kick is good.
Both these offenses really trying a lot of misdirection in the screen game, in the run game. We've seen zone read, we've seen the pistol, we've seen power football. And that's kind of what college football is these days, Justin. It's all about versatility on offense. And we see both teams doing a pretty good job of that so far, especially in the first game of the season.
9 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes and 26 seconds, but this was the big play.
And this could have been a better throw. It hung a little too far, and Van Leeuwen had to stop. Justin Thomas was able to catch up a little bit and make the play, but a good job by Van Leeuwen to use his body to shield himself and be able to make that catch. Chucky Keaton's going to look at that one on tape and want it back because that could have been a touchdown.
14-10 here in the second quarter. That was the first play of this second quarter.
There's Swindle. I'm not saying I could have done that, but a nice pitch and catch. Reminiscent of the Drez Anderson, Travis Wilson touchdown that got the Utes on the board first.
Jake Thompson's kickoff, 5 yards deep in the end zone, and Poole will take a knee. Utah will start at the 25. You talk about this rivalry and how it's become more and more bitter over time, and how these two teams are really pretty evenly matched. Utah State winning last year 27-20 in overtime. It's the battle of the brothers.
Oh yeah, 111 years. I mean, it's like the 100 Years' War between France and England. Who's Joan of Arc out here? I mean, they've been doing it for a very long time, and they've been doing it in a physical fashion. And let's face it, these teams battle for recruits in this state. A lot of people love football in this state.
Separated by 87 miles in the Great Salt Lake. Wilson on first down. That pass is incomplete, but may have been pulled in by Nevin Lawson. However, there are flags on the play. Drez Anderson, the intended receiver.
Dennis Erickson trying to take a shot of his own.
Nevin Lawson never turned to look back at the ball.
He fought for it once it arrived, though. Lawson, the best cover corner by far for the Aggies.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's the 4th 15-yard penalty against Utah State.
And they're all of aggression. There's Lawson, never gets his head around, and then the hand to the neck and face of Drez Anderson. He picks the ball off and celebrates, but it's going to be a first down for the Utes. Ball could have gone a little further for Wilson as well. Could have put a little more air under that one.
1st and 10 from the 40 for Utah. Hand off to York. York up the middle, moves the pile a little bit, picks up 3 yards.
And is that a play that's going to be a 10-yard play in the 4th quarter? You wonder about that with the size and the improvement of this Utah offensive line and a good, solid, heavy back to get behind him and fall forward. Nice play on first down.
2nd and 7. Hand off again is to York. And York brings him to the 49, 1 yard shy. Zach Vigil there with the tackle. Vigil, a vocal leader on this Utah State defense. He had 105 tackles last year. Jake Dowdy, his fellow middle linebacker, had 109.
These are very active linebackers against what's looking like a very solid Utah offensive line early.
3rd and 1. It's York again on the carry. And with progress, he will have the first down. Jake Dowdy with his 3rd tackle of the night.
And that might not look like exciting football to people, but when it's 3rd and 1 and you can call a play like that and get it and stay on the field, it's huge. And those are attitude plays that matter as the game goes on.
Wilson in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Hand off to York again. And York gets stopped in the backfield, will lose a couple of yards. Kyler Fackrell, that stud linebacker.
He's tough to move. They couldn't get him off the line of scrimmage. I mean, that was really a stalemate.
He's 6'5", 245, but Kelvin York, with 4 straight carries, now goes to the sideline. James Bubba Poole comes in as the tailback.
And look out for the bubble screens and the perimeter stuff with Bubba.
Wilson trying to escape pressure. He does. Throws on the run, and this time he throws it out of bounds.
Very smart play, but really the guy that made the play there was Bubba Poole with the block on Jordan Nielsen. That's a 6'5", 265-pound guy going up against a 196-pound back. And Poole was able to get in his way just enough that Wilson could escape and deliver the ball. That's the kind of play that they're going to look at in films tomorrow and say, what a great job. You should never have to block a big defensive lineman like that.
3rd down and 12. Wilson gets hit. Still on his feet, but not for long. Down at the 43, Nick Vigil, the first to make contact. Sacked for a loss of 5.
See the vocal leadership of Nick Vigil. Safety blitz coming off the edge. Vigil comes all the way around and makes a play. A nice swarming tackling of a very big quarterback by the Aggies D.
Tom Hackett on to punts. A good punt. But this will bounce into the end zone. And Utah State will have the ball at the 20 when we come back. In the second quarter, it's Utah leading Utah State by 4. 2012 was a record-setting year for Utah State. It started with that win in week 2 over Utah, their first win since 1997. They were 6-0 in the regular season. They were the WAC regular season champions. And then they went on to the Idaho Potato Bowl.
Kiss the potato.
And they won 41-15 over Toledo. And Chucky Keaton, he was part of that record-setting year. On 1st down, the handoff to Joe Hill. And Hill will pick up a few yards, tackled by Hunter Dimmick.
And Utah State is missing that physicality in their running back, it seems. Joe Hill is going to be a guy that can make some more plays on the perimeter and play better in space, but got to get a little more leg drive at the line of scrimmage. There could have been a few more yards in there, but this is a tough front 7 for the Utes, and they've been playing pretty well so far.
2nd down and 7. Keaton will try to run with it. And he gets wrapped up right away by Nate Orchard, the 3rd tackle of the game for the defensive end.
He's a very experienced player. Really took over a leadership role on that defensive line with the Krugers and Star Lutalele out.
3rd and 7, and these fans making some noise again. Utah State 4 for 6 on 3rd downs in this one.
Look at that double stack formation. We've seen it all.
Keaton escapes some pressure. And he will loft this one out of bounds, and Utah forces the 3 and out. The pressure applied by Threaten Palamo.
Really nice pursuit here up against Chucky Keaton. He gets cut down by the back. Joe Hill gets back up, keeps playing. Very, very good-looking motor on the entire Ute defense. They've done a good job of staying after Chucky Keaton, and that's one of the keys to the game. Let him know that you're there.
Jaron Benchroot on to punt. Bubba Poole signals for the fair catch. And he'll make it at the 36-yard line. A 41-yard punt by Benchroot. Travis Wilson coming back on the field for Utah, leading by 4. Back here at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. Utah leading Utah State 14-10. Justin Kutcher alongside Petros Papadakis and Christina Pink. Travis Wilson First and 10 coming up from the 36-yard line. Bubba Poole in the backfield here for the Utes. Little play action. Wilson on the run, throws incomplete to Jake Murphy. Let's go down to Christina Pink.
Thanks a lot, Justin. We've heard Trevor Riley's name called numerous times tonight. He is one tough guy, played on a torn ACL last season, but if you ask him, he's not even the toughest member of his own family. He's a husband and father of 2, but his baby daughter, Shane, just 1 year old, is currently battling kidney cancer. She is undergoing chemotherapy right now, and she's not out of the woods just yet, but they do expect her to have a good prognosis and be better once they do some more testing in December. I asked him, how's he dealing with it? He gave all the credit to his wife, Jessica, who is at the game tonight with the kids. He also said that football has really helped him as a release during this time. Back to you, Justin.
Thanks so much, Christina, and best of luck to Shane. We're all rooting for her. She's facing her last round of chemotherapy tomorrow. 3rd down and 9 here for Utah. Blitz is coming. Get the pass off to Poole. Poole makes a couple of guys miss, dives forward, and he's going to be just about a yard shy of the 1st down. Brian Sweet finally able to bring him down.
And they really opened up the middle for that screen, and Utah State bit, and that's exactly what you want out of your change-up back. Bubba Poole making a couple guys miss and almost getting there. Utah's going to be conservative here. Looks like they're going to punt.
Tom Hackett on to punt. Travis Van Leeuwen is back deep in his own 10. Fair catch signaled for and made at the 16-yard line. A 39-yard punt by Hackett. Utah State trailing by 4 here in the 2nd quarter. As good as 2012 was to Utah State, it was that bad for Utah. Travis Wilson, the positive was that he got to start 7 games.
Well, they lost Jordan Wynn, their starting quarterback, so the big true freshman recruit came in, but it was a rough road in the Pac-12, and Utah didn't get to go to a bowl game, and Kyle Whittingham's worn that scowl for the better part of the offseason.
Chucky Keaton on 1st down. He keeps on the zone read, and Keaton nearly escaped for a big run, but there is Jared Norris grabbing his ankle. A 7-yard run on 1st down by Keaton.
Really impressive on both sides. Great feet by Keaton, but way to stay after the play by Norris.
Quick pass. Dancing around is JoJo Natson, and JoJo will lose 3 yards on the play.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and they put themselves in a worse position. This drive is an opportunity for the Aggies to take control, but that man right there, Trevor Riley, he wants to turn the tide right now.
3rd and 6. Natson in motion. Keaton to Natson, and Natson fumbles the ball. And it looks like it's recovered by Travis Van Leeuwen. A huge recovery by Leeuwen. The fumble was forced by Jared Norris. And it's going to be a 1st down here for Utah State.
Big mismatch right there. It was Trevor Riley, basically a DN, one-on-one with Natson, the fastest guy on Utah State's team. Nice play call.
Keaton looks back for a play. Little reverse to Natson. And Natson cuts it back up the middle and gets 4 yards. Hunter Dimmick on the tackle.
Very nice discipline by the Utes. Really hanging on the line of scrimmage. Seems like they're waiting on his own read. Riley gets a good push, but everybody stays where they're supposed to be. Natson tries to take the middle, but not too much there.
2nd down and 6 here for the Aggies. Keaton rolling out to his right. And now he'll throw this one away. Jacoby Hale applying the pressure. Coming up on the Pizza Hut halftime report. And just about 6:35, Rob, Eddie, and Coy. They'll talk about Jadeveon Clowney's season debut, and the Trojans look to bounce back. Petros, will they bounce back?
Well, they're going to win today in Honolulu. They're going to pull that empty backfield.
On 3rd and 6. Keaton, with all the time he needs, completes it to Van Leeuwen. Another first down.
That's a discipline of an older quarterback. Very calm, almost in a rocking chair back there, and finds his star receiver so far.
And again, after a first down, they go quickly. Keaton keeps it. A little shake and bake, picks up a yard. Nate Orchard with his 5th tackle of the game.
And discipline is the word. Nate Orchard did a great job there. Chucky Keaton gave him a foot fake that anybody would have fallen for. Orchard was able to keep his feet and get in on that tackle. Look at how Chucky commits to this fake. Look at that. Boom! That's a big cutback, and still the Ute defense disciplined enough to corral him down.
Did you see the eyes of Chucky Keaton on that play? I mean, he had bug eyes going.
Yeah, mine were usually closed in that situation. I love his awareness on the field, but it seems like the Ute defense
Still first down.
is up to the challenge, but a penalty.
A 5-yard penalty here against Utah. First down and 5 here for Utah State. Just at midfield. 6 minutes to go here in this first half. Keaton swings it out to Hill. Nice catch by Hill, who gets the 49-yard line of Utah. Excuse me. And picks up the yard. Keith McGill there on the stop.
Everything is around the line of scrimmage right now, if you notice, for the Aggies. Maybe setting up the Utes for something a little deeper, and you'd think that would go to Travis Van Leeuwen, but a nice drive, and it's not coming easy for Chucky Keaton right now.
2nd down and 4. Joe Hill in the backfield. He motions out. Keaton steps up over the middle, completes the pass to Travis Van Leeuwen. Didn't you just mention him?
A little further down the field. What has to happen here, Justin, is the Utes have to get a better rush when the Aggies go to that empty set. They're not getting anything on Chucky Keaton, and he's able to pick them apart.
18-yard completion to Van Leeuwen. 1st and 10 from the 31.
Took a shot in the back, too, after the catch. Michael Walker. Oof.
And now Utah State slowing it down after picking up the first down. Keaton fumbles the ball. Recovered by Orchard.
Well, that'll turn things. And we said it hasn't been coming easy for Chucky Keaton. He had Joe Hill on the wheel route, but just too much pressure. Here comes Orchard with the speed, and he's able to reach out that hand. What a play, and then recover the fumble. That is big-time defense against a very good quarterback. Chucky Keaton was about to throw a long pass to Joe Hill.
Travis Wilson on first down. The zone read, he keeps it. And he gets run out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Picks up 4. Maurice Alexander on the tackle. We've talked so much about Trevor Riley. It's Nate Orchard who's having the big game on defense for this Utah team.
Sometimes offensively, when you concentrate on one end, the other one can hurt you.
The next guy, everybody gets their own guy.
Wilson throws off the back leg, incomplete. Was looking for Drez Anderson. Nevin Lawson there on the coverage.
A double move setup that just didn't work out. Nevin Lawson got a couple hands on Anderson. This has been a good matchup the entire afternoon. And you see Lawson with the grab. That should have been a holding penalty.
3rd and 7 now for Utah after the fumble recovery. For the 2nd time tonight, we see a play clock. Pass complete over the middle to Anthony Denham. And Denham up to the 40. Gets tackled by Fackrell.
Great job by Fackrell, who's a really big guy, 6'5", to go out there in that space and make a play on a wide receiver so he can't get to the first down. Kyler Fackrell, really one of the more impressive looking linebackers in the country this year. Blew everybody up as a freshman, and he's a freak. Now as a sophomore, really coming into his own in this game.
Hackett to punt. JoJo Natson takes at the 17. And Natson gets wrapped up right away. 3:30 to go here in the first half. It's 14-10 Utah. If you joined us late, here's what's happened so far. In the first quarter, Travis Wilson found Drez Anderson back of the end zone for a touchdown. Then he found his tight end, Jake Murphy, a 30-yard touchdown pass. But Utah State would answer back. Chucky Keaton to Brandon Swindoll, and it's a 14-10 ball game.
It's been as good as advertised. We've had good offense and very good defense so far in the first half. And I've been impressed with that young man, Travis Wilson. He's matured a lot from last year.
Utah State will start at their own 15-yard line with 3.5 to go here in the first half. Handoff is to Hill. Hill, nice cut. And he gets stood up at the 28-yard line, picks up 8. Eric Rowe comes up in the free safety position to tackle him.
Joe Hill, not a big guy, 5'11", 190. Out of Fullerton High School in Fullerton, California. Really got skinny on that cut.
Coming up on the Pizza Hut halftime report, Rob, Eddie, and Coy will talk about Jadeveon Clowney's season debut, South Carolina against North Carolina. And the Trojans look to bounce back after last year's terrible season. And the pass is complete to Keegan Anderson.
You know who he is, that Keegan Anderson. That's Wisconsin coach Gary Anderson's son. Now, why would he be at Utah State? I think that's where the family lived last year. I guess his father didn't think he needed a tight end H-back type in Wisconsin.
Either that or he doesn't like his dad too much. He wanted to stay at Utah State.
Yeah, he's a big part of this offense. You see him in motion a whole bunch, and that was a nice play.
On first down, Chucky Keaton had the ball tipped at the line by guess who? Nate Orchard, and a late flag comes in as well. The referee is Kevin Marr, who has been busy in this one.
But we haven't had any of that targeting stuff. No reviews of targeting. Nothing like that. We got the warning from Pereira, but we haven't seen it yet.
Holding. Number 1, defense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That is against Keith McGill, who missed all of last year with an injury.
Well, here you're going to see Nate Orchard, who's been all over the place in this first half, just time that up perfectly and make the play, but it's all for naught as Keith McGill was holding Travis Reynolds.
Another first down here for Utah State with 2.5 to go. Empty backfield as DeMartini splits out wide. Wide open down the seam is Bruce Natson for the first down. A 25-yard completion.
That was a great throw. That was the Chucky Keaton that we've been used to seeing. He's been impressive in this game so far, but man, can he really fire it when he has to. And Natson has been really causing trouble for these youths. They're tired of chasing him around.
Empty backfield again here for Chucky Keaton. They've had success with this look. Keaton taking a shot towards the sideline. Incomplete. Was looking for Joey DiMartino.
And you can see that he's frustrated with the throw. He knew that he had a touchdown there. interesting. Every time the Aggies get into that empty set, the Utes just get zero rush. Why? Chucky Keaton, because they have everybody back. They have 8 guys back. They're only rushing 3, but if you can't get any pressure on him, he's too smart and too good not to almost make a great play like we saw there, or make a great play like we've seen previously when they're in empty.
Joe Hill in the backfield now. Keaton incomplete. Flag comes in again.
Personal foul, chop block, number 32 offense, 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's against the running back, Joe Hill.
Looks like he got off the bus cutting guys. You're going to see Joe Hill standing right next to Chucky Keaton. That is not a chop block. A chop block is when the offensive lineman is engaged with a defender and then somebody comes in and takes out his legs. That's not what that was there. That's not a good call.
That's the 5th 15-yarder against Utah State in this game. The handoff is to Hill. And Hill with some good yards here after that 15-yard penalty. Threatened Palamo on the tackle, a 12-yard run.
And threatened Palamo has really been threatening people in this game sideline to sideline, doing a good job. I know that one was kind of obvious. But I'm really impressed with not only Trevor Riley, but the way this entire Ute defense has been running against Chucky Keaton.
3rd and 13. Is this 2-down territory here for Utah State with 1:20 to go? Keaton escapes some pressure. Chucky Keaton will run with it. And Keaton gets out of bounds for the first down at the 28-yard line. He lost his shoe back at the 45.
First of all, a great bull rush by Jacoby Hale, and he almost makes the play. Keaton loses his shoe, but look how he keeps himself together, gets the first down. It is so awkward to run with a sock and a cleat. You can't imagine.
That's their first of the half.
Utah State has called a timeout, but this is what we talked about. Chucky Keaton hurting you, not with the play that was called by the Aggies, but by the play that he turns it into, and that is an example of it.
And these fans were irate because they wanted a hold on Eric Schultz. Jacoby Hale was applying the pressure. These fans were booing. They thought they had the flag. They didn't. And instead, the big run here by Chucky Keaton with only one shoe.
And that timeout was called so he could put his shoe back on.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, we would have seen the Aggies get right up to the line of scrimmage and try to run another play, as they have been whenever they get a first down.
It was a 15-yard run on 3rd and 13 by Chucky Keaton. Keeping this drive alive with 1:05 minutes left.
Exactly that, Justin, that Utah is trying to avoid. Those type of plays. And you see what the Aggies have done on offense. Joe Hill's been okay. Van Leeuwen has really stepped up. But Chucky Keaton, as always, the focal point.
And now empty backfield again here for Chucky Keaton. Keaton completes the pass to Travis Reynolds for a first down. 1st and goal from the 8, a 19-yard completion.
They got to figure out something to get a rush when they go to empty. Keaton's killing it.
Handoff to Hill. And Hill up the middle, up to the 4-yard line, picks up 4. Riley with the tackle.
You're going to see Chucky Keaton. There's that 3-man rush, and Chucky gets a little rolled up on. He was able to get his foot off the ground. And I think that saved him from really hurting himself.
2nd and goal from the 4. Keaton up top, incomplete. Pass deflected by Trevor Riley. Intended for Tiala Avea.
This is what makes Riley a little different. Chucky Keaton trying to catch him off guard with a quick pass, and that is a big lead. Jump and swat. Is that Matumbo?
He played all of last year with a torn ACL.
He's a stud. And that's also the position he plays.
He then dunked right after surgery.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that.
Utah State, that's their second charge of the half. 30 seconds in lane.
Utah State takes their second timeout of the half, and this week UFC Wednesday comes to Fox Sports 1 as third-ranked light heavyweight Glover Teixeira takes on Ryan Bader. Then it's the season premiere of The Ultimate Fighter featuring rival coaches Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate. UFC Wednesday brings you 8 straight hours of great UFC action beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern with the UFC Fight Night pre-fight show and the prelims this week right here on Fox Sports 1. And there is the leader of this team, the leader of the defense, Trevor Riley.
And you see him rallying his troops right now. You were talking about it. Not a lot of guys play with a torn ACL. And not a lot of guys can be that athletic after tearing their ACL. He's just very impressive. And when you can play in space like that and rush the passer and get to the sideline like he does, well, that's a recipe for a lot of success in football for a long time coming.
3rd and goal from the 4. Utah State trailing by 4 with 25 seconds to go.
Look at Chucky Keaton rallying his people. The leaders are leading. Fackrell is in the game. Here, the linebacker, not Madsen. That's Fackrell wearing the number 9.
Keaton, one-step drop pass, and that's complete to Brandon Swindoll for the touchdown.
What a drive by the Aggies. Everybody's looking to the right because Fackrell's over there, a defender. Keaton comes to the other side. Davion Orphy never got his arms up, never really saw the ball. Coach Wells is pumped.
Second touchdown of the game for Brandon Swindoll, the first lead of the game for Utah State. And now Nick Diaz will be on for the extra point. th career touchdown pass for Chucky Keaton, the 3rd most in Utah State history. I think there's a pretty good chance when his career is over, he'll have the record.
Yeah, and maybe a statue in Logan.
The extra point for Diaz is good. 17-14. Utah State now leading.
Here's the touchdown. Turned inside to get the ball instead of over his shoulder, so a little awkward there. Keeps possession all the way through. The helmet comes off, so no penalty for celebration with the helmet off. Another good touch pass from Chucky Keaton. And how about the management of the clock there by the Aggies? Only 10 seconds left in the half. So not only do they get the score and take the lead, but they leave Utah no real option to score and answer back. And you see Coach Wells coaching in his first game. His team has hung in there and taken the lead late here and grab momentum.
And Chucky Keaton, a huge play on that drive on 3rd and 13, picked up 15 yards on a scramble with one shoe on.
And the broken play, the losing of the shoe, his ability to be calm in that situation, that's why the Aggies have the lead.
Last year is a 27-20 overtime victory for the Utah State Aggies at home. Here in this first half, they now lead 17-14. Don't forget the Pizza Hut halftime report is coming up with Rob, Eddie, and Coy. It is coming up after the break. Ten plays, 85 yards. Took 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And look at Keaton on that drive. 4 for 6, 50 yards. Van Leeuwen a big catch. Swindoll the big catch for the touchdown.
And Keaton seems to have done a very good job over the summer and in the spring really working with these new receivers. We've seen Van Leeuwen make some very good plays. Swindle showed up now and had a couple of big grabs. So you have to give Chucky Keaton all the credit, because he's the guy that rallies this offense when the coaches aren't around in the summer. He's the guy that takes them out to throw. They look pretty sharp here.
Chucky Keaton, 239 of Utah State's 301 yards in this first half. Don't forget, after the game on Fox Sports 1, join Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole, along with Donovan McNabb, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson, as they bring you all the scores, news, and highlights you need. Don't miss Fox Sports Live tonight after the game on Fox Sports 1. Ten seconds remaining here in this first half. Chandler Anderson is back for Utah.
Clock operator, please put 20 seconds on the game clock. The helmet rule does not apply in this case.
They will now put 20 seconds on the game clock. Jake Thompson with kickoff. And this will sail out of the end zone again, so it will be Utah ball at the 25. You look at the score, 17-14. Utah State over Utah. You think about the scoring drives for Utah in this game, and they have been aided by the defensive mental mistakes by Utah State with those 15-yard penalties.
They also had big plays, but Utah State will tell you that they really hurt themselves in the first quarter, giving Utah that advantage. That being said, Wilson's been pretty in control in this game, and we've really yet to see the perimeter players of Utah do anything to expose Utah State's lack of athleticism out there.
On first down, it's Poole who cuts it back. Bubba Poole gets tackled from behind by B.J. Larson. Does get the first down. And a timeout is taken by Utah.
Anthony Denham's been a good receiver and he's shown up. Dres Anderson has the touchdown catch, but losing Kenneth Scott so early in this game has hurt Utah a little bit. Here's Bubba Poole, and he's the change-up back. Obviously not a lot of time left in the half, but he finds his way, switches the ball in the contact zone, which is not something you like to see. A good pursuit by B.J. Larson, jumping on his back and putting him down. 11 seconds left. We'll see if the Utes can do anything with this.
17-14, Utah State leading. Utah State last year 11-2. Utah last year finished 5-7. And these Utah Utes, Dennis Erickson, co-offensive coordinator here for Utah, left the booth, made his way down to the field.
I don't think he thought he was going to have to call any plays, because he's down there standing next to Brian Johnson. He's supposed to be in the booth. Where's his headset?
First and 10 from the 40.
He's glad he doesn't have to do an interview at halftime. I promise you that.
Wilson over the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Jake Murphy. 8 seconds left here in the first half. Travis Wilson, 2 first half touchdowns. He had 7 touchdowns all of last year. Wilson over the middle to Murphy, and Murphy with the first down up to the 49-yard line. 2 seconds remaining. And a timeout will be taken here by Utah.
There's Dennis walking around on the sideline for the first time in a couple of years. This is the first time that he's been up in the press box since 1981, when he was a coordinator for Jack Elway at San Jose State University. After that, he was only a head coach. Now he's back to being a coordinator, and I think he's probably the most comfortable man in the state of Utah. likes to lounge around and look at offense and call plays and not have to deal with the media like he used to. Dennis Erickson very rejuvenated, and some good things we've seen from the Utah offense in the first half.
2 seconds remaining, final play of the half. And Utah State lining up their guys from the 30 or 25-yard line. And this first half does not want to come to an end. See, they realize it's the first college football game ever on Fox Sports 1. They want it to last a long time.
And why not? It's a lovely day here underneath the Wasatch Mountain Range.
They want to make the guys back in studio just sit around and wait and wait and wait.
Well, everybody else is fine, but that's what Joel Klatt deserves. Now, you can't get a field goal here. There's no time to spike it if you do get a first down. So this has to be a shot at the end zone. Certainly Travis Wilson has the arm to get it there.
By the way, if you're wondering about offense in this first half, 484 total yards combined, 29 first downs, and 31 points. The final play of this first half. Wilson dancing around, trying to set his feet, throws towards the end zone, and that is incomplete. Brian Sweet was back there to break it up, and that'll bring this first half to a close. Utah State leads Utah 17-14. We now go to Rob Stone in Los Angeles for the Pizza Hut halftime show, which starts right now.